Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading the general energies of twin flame and or soulmates. I feel like I'm going to be reading for a very specific group. That may well change, but I feel like the energies today is going to be for a particular group at a particular stage who maybe information is not as forthcoming, maybe people feeling a little bit kind of left out in the cold. So what we'll do is I'll link with the guides, and then I'll pull cards, potentially maybe some oracle cards as well. And we'll get some real in-depth insight into what exactly is going on here. Okay, so I'm just going to link with the guides now in relation to this. There's something here. They're linking around. Let me just tune in a bit more into this energy because I feel like this is going to be a bit of an in-depth message here. Right, there's something here around martyrdom. Now, I don't know if this would apply to yourself, if this would apply to your divine counterpart. They're saying purging, but also it's like they're trying to distinguish what is to be released and what isn't. They're undergoing a massive change. So if you've had inconsistencies, if you felt, again, left out in the cold, if you felt that you have not been able to connect, or maybe they're a bit disconnected, this is probably going to apply to you. Okay, now it's interesting because what they're saying here is there's going to be a massive emotional purge here, because they're talking about once bitten, twice shy. Excuse me, we've got a bit of a rainstorm going on outside and the light keeps changing and I can't quite get it right. I do apologise for this lack of lighting here, but when I kind of put the lights on, it goes a bit like. I feel like also this is a bit of an insight into the energies. It's like 1 minute there's a very changeable energy going on here. Essentially, nothing is by coincidence. If they're showing me, you know, light and dark compositions and contrast, it is probably because there is a lot of transitioning going on. So what they're saying here at the moment is don't forge ahead, don't make any solid plans, because I feel like these will change and it will potentially lead to disappointment. They're going through a massive purge at the moment. We are, you know, obviously you are, as a, you know, a counterpart to that energy, is also going to be probably looking at purging or feeling like you need to purge. But there's a lot of onus on healing emotional wounds and understanding why things have become unstuck or become stuck. Now, I feel like unstuck is a really key word here, because it's like there's some narrative, there's some energy here that is going to be totally swept away in order for something new. I feel like an emotional nature is going to be changed on a very deep level, to the point where almost irrecognizable. So I feel like if we go to the next couple of days, things are going to be moving quite quickly. So if you're seeing a lot of changeable events, situations, very volatile potentially scenarios, feeling that energy, ride it out. Don't make any sudden moves. I wouldn't be making any direct contact, if I'm totally honest with you, because it just feels like it's going to be misread, or it's going to add to that kind of general unknown. Okay, now, by the way, the tapping is me holding some Lemurian crystal, so do excuse me. I'm going to try not to fiddle too much, but I'm a bit kind of like that, so I do apologise if there's lots of tapping in the background. I'll stop now. Let's see what else they want to bring forward. They want me to go to the cards. There's a very mixed signal as well. There's going to be a very mixed signals. It's like, don't count on anything. If you're making plans, don't count on them. It just feels like that kind of thing. Now, if I'm moving, where do I want to go? I kind of want to go to the new moon. So that will be the 28th, is it? Depending on where you are in the world. There's something about this new moon, which is going to be at the tail end of this week, that is going to allow a transition to maintain its fluidity. That's how they're giving it to me. So I feel like, if I was to try and explain this crazy journey in words, it's like if you're built, I can't believe I'm referencing this to some mechanical item, but I mean, that's kind of how they're giving it to me. It's like if you're building a computer. I can't believe I'm using this reference, because it's kind of really nothing to do with that when you're in that emotional heart center. But it's like you're building a computer and you've got the motherboard, and it's still trying to, you're still trying to kind of put all the other components in, but you're putting it through a test run and it's not quite working. It's that. And I feel like the test run is around the new moon. So you could even get some potential contacts, interest, but they're saying false starts, okay? So please don't try not to be disappointed if you are getting that contact, you are getting that interaction, but it can't quite catch on. It's not quite developing. It's like a car going into second gear. It's, you know, and it's out of gear. It just doesn't have that momentum to be driven forward. And the momentum, what is, see, this is the thing, I'm trying to feel it out, if this is just going to be all the way through Libra seasons. I don't think it will be. I want to say you could have the next week. It's 11:11 here, by the way, guys. I never look at the clock either, just so you're aware. That's your confirmation. And if you don't know what 11:11 is, then might be worth looking that up. I don't know if this is just going to be for the next week, where this energy is very consistently inconsistent. I would not be making plans or relying on anything, because it just doesn't feel set in stone. It doesn't feel, it feels like I'm putting my hand in some water and I'm trying to look and feel around for the bottom to get the item out or get something lost out, and I can't find it. It just feels like that. And I feel like this is kind of an analogy for people's emotive, like, heart centers here, because there's something very deep, very untouchable, almost very kind of almost bottomless. There's an extreme. Now this is the other thing. If you feel like you're already overwhelmed emotionally, I would be really focusing on healing that heart center, because I feel like this is going to, especially around the new moon, is going to really, there's going to be momentum, and it's like there's a wealth of emotions here. There's a very, I mean, it just feels so deep. Like, how can I put this into words? How can I put this into words? This is, you might even feel like it's one of the things, if you were to sit and explain to someone, you wouldn't be able to, because it just feels like you can't quite, it's not quite tangible, it's not quite touchable, it's not quite there, it's not quite into its final form, or it just feels very transitionary, and we need to kind of allow that, and we need to surrender while this is going on, as always. Let's have a think, because they're now showing me the next week. I feel like we might settle down, because I don't know how often I'm going to get to do these readings, so I'm just going to go with spirit, and obviously when they stop, you know, I feel like this may be the week after this. Things start gaining a little bit. I feel like it's like the dust is settling a little bit more, and this is going to be really relevant if over the last few days you've had a bit of an emotional meltdown. Okay, so if you're resonating with that, I feel like this is going to be for you. Don't be too hard on yourself. You cannot possibly expect to understand and know everything in this whole scenario. Okay, don't even, like, I wouldn't even be sat there trying to understand this at this point sometimes, because sometimes it goes on internally. Sometimes this is not meant to be tangibly, you know, tangibly seen, felt, heard. Sometimes the ethers are in charge of what else is kind of unfolding, and we sometimes do have to trust that, and sometimes we have to also go into the driver's seat. Again, another car reference. Someone might be travelling to see you, and someone might be technical as well, because I keep getting all these I'm not even technical really, so just a heads up. And I'm getting someone with glasses now, so someone's trying to come through with glasses, and I feel like it feels like, I'm trying to figure this out, if it's a masculine or feminine energy here. Does it matter? I mean, I feel like you're going to recognise this person. Whoever's watching this is going to know. There's something around that they do with their glasses. It's like a trick or little something they do around with their glasses. They play around with their glasses, or it's like a trick or a joke. It's like, I feel like I'm joking around with this. So if this is you and you're looking for a confirmational sign, that's your sign. That's a very distinguishable feature of this person. someone's talking about a holiday. So if this person's at a distance, or if you are at a distance from someone, there's going to be interaction here. Could be face to face. But I feel like we've got the next week where this is going to start dying down. Things are going to start settling in. And what I'll probably do is do another review in a couple of weeks' time, and we can read that. So moving on, if I do the cards first, and then what we'll do, just to clarify those messages, and then what we'll do is we'll pull a few outcome cards, and then we can get a kind of bit more of an idea of what else is happening. Just so, and bear in mind this is generalized, so if you're not resonating with this, it could be that you're not on this particular part of the journey. It could be that maybe, you know, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Basically, just trust your gut instinct, because this is the kind of journey that, I'm not being funny, but if you were to go to some people, I don't want to be too harsh on people, but I don't feel like not everyone can recognize this journey, and not everyone, I feel like you're going to know if you're on that twin flame or soulmate journey, put it that way. Okay, so Spirit, what is it you can give us insight wise towards twin flame soulmates now between the next couple of weeks, really? What significant insights can you give us here? What's the general energies? Can you hear that rain? I love the sound of rain. Something very cleansing going on here. This has been raining solidly, and I was like, I have to do this reading. What's the general energies, please, between twin flame soulmates now next couple of weeks, Spirit? Interesting. I just looked at the card. It was the moon card, so a lot of hidden emotions here. Spirit, what insight can you give us here between twin flame soulmates? Guys, now I feel like this is the general energy. This is not to say warning, alarm bells, you know, blah, 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 fear mongering. There is a real feeling, both counterparts are feeling this. There's going to be a very deep cleanse, to the point where, like I mentioned before, there's a purge. It has to be released. Because we can't build on barren ground. And don't forget, the Three of Swords, after that comes the Four of Swords, which is the renewal, the meditative state, the kind of analysis of what has been. So we need this to build onto the next level, okay? There could also be another party involved in this. It could be that there is a karmic scenario going on here that hasn't been drawn out. But this could also be coming to an end if this does resonate. But interesting, the moon now has come out. The moon card has come out. So this is very much confirming about the new moon, because as you can see, it isn't a full moon. But she's sat perched on this moon and she's owning it. I feel like she's gaining her strength here in order to progress forward to where she needs to be. And as you can see, the reflection is below her. So you are going to be reflecting this emotionally. If you're feeling emotional, the counterpart's going to be feeling emotional, okay? If you're feeling a little wounded, a little kind of maybe out of sorts, again, don't forget Three of Swords, moon card. It feels very deep. There's a very deep energy around this. So just please be kind to yourselves. We cannot possibly always be in a state of euphoria in this journey, okay? Own the healing. Try and allow yourself to purge and heal as best you can. Okay, that was my incense. I thought someone was trying to get my attention. You never know with this kind of work. It was my incense going. Oh, what a wally. We've got the Seven of Cups here, so a bit of an illusionary kind of daydreaming, a bit of all. Here we go. Spirit taking the mic. We need to make sure we're grounding during this time, okay? Because you can see her being lifted off the ground. We need to make sure. So I need to live by that rule as well. We need to make sure we're being grounded here and try and find some respite, some haven, some peace in amongst all this, because I feel like I don't want to tempt fate here, but stability, security may be questioned, okay? So this is, again, we've got the Four of Wands this time, so we're going up in numbers. Obviously we want to do that because we want to complete the cycle, but it's like you could feel at the heart of all this, at the heart of you, that your security is being rocked, your foundations are being rocked. Do a bit of root chakra work. Connect with people that make you feel like yourself and that you're not. Again, we don't want to be lost in this emotion. We want to be really purging that, connecting with it, observing it, releasing it, you know, feeling it, understanding it, identifying it, release it. So it's like the more work is done, the better it will help. You know, the more releasing we do, the further along I feel this will go. Okay, in terms of they're saying timing, it's not quite time yet. Okay, so this extra work needs to be done, otherwise potentially union will be held up based on the extra healing work. Spirit, any other insight messages as to what we can be expecting to see and coming up with the energies of twin flame soulmates, please? Any other insight energies that we can understand here? Okay, now this is the thing. Again, we've got loyalty here, we've got recognition, reward. Now I feel like you might want to be sort of almost distracting yourselves with other people. Maybe it's like you have that energy where you want to be out and about around like-minded people because it makes you feel, it brings you that grounding. It could also be that there is a recognition between souls here, and there is that announcement. Some of you could be getting an announcement, but it feels more like, you know, I don't want to sit there and say this, yeah, you know, it's all gonna happen, because I don't want to sit and promise that. It doesn't feel like everyone's energy is going to go through that. But one thing is guaranteed here. We've got the sword of truth, so this could be clarity, this could be insight, clear insight, could be communication. Maybe you haven't received communication. We've got, do you remember when I said about the Four of Swords, that meditative state? You can see the blue man in the foreground here. He's actually contemplating what has been, and the swords are behind him, and as you can see, the blue curtains have been drawn apart. So, and also at the forefront is the autumnic, don't know if that's a word, leaves, autumnal leaves, which obviously we are now into the autumn equinox. This is a brand new season, brand new communication, potentially a brand new start. Okay, the other cards that came out are very positive. Okay, because we've also got the Three of Wands. So again, this is contemplating the future here. This is really trying to get a grounded idea of what we want. And as you can see, the new moon is in the background there with a shooting star. So we've got a huge potential here for manifestation with the Hierophant. This can be commitment. This can be deepened emotional. Interesting, they're giving me a different word here, one sec. Emotional longevity. This is really setting the scene for building a solid future, because you've got a man here that's on a very solid excuse me, throat chakra situation, a very solid throne. And as you can see, again, another autumnal reference with the you know, the leaves shedding, the trees shedding their leaves in the background. What has been that needs to be released will be released, and this will come, but it needs to be the right time. And as you can see, there's a man here reaching out for the Hierophant's hand, almost in an act of awareness of gratitude. So I feel like we need to be practicing gratitude here, but also humble. It's like there's a humble awareness to this connection here, that it's like they're talking about going back to your roots and looking at how far you've come, and actually where you're at now, because I feel like some of you guys have been on a very long journey, and the spirit is saying sometimes we can forget that, and we have to be very grounded but also aware that you guys are doing a brilliant job. Like, some of you guys are probably holding it down to the point where you probably don't have many people around you. You're probably only reliant on spirit guides, insight from these kind of readings. My guide is very keen also to sort of say keep going, because especially if you are the ones that have been really driving this forward and you're like sat there going, I don't know how much more I can take of this, you are doing an amazing job. Also, this is the other thing. Now, I'm not going to show you the sketch because I'm actually doing a project to do with this, but they're also bringing me forward Bridget. Okay, Bridget, I'm not sure if you're aware of her, but she was a Celtic goddess. She was actually named after Britain. That was how Britannia got her name, through Bridget. She is the three fire, the treble flame goddess of all stages of femininity. She is the sort of almost the overseer of healers, prophecies, music, childbirth, very fiery energy, but she's also balanced out with watery energy, but she's a huge manifester. Her energy, if you, now don't get me wrong, not all of you are going to relate to her. Some people are going to listen to this, watch this and be like, I totally resonate with Bridget. You must, if you need her, you call on her, because I'm not joking you, she is amazing. I was tuning in to the energies the other day, and I don't know how she managed to do this, but I draw as well, but she was there for long enough for me to draw her. So she really wants her energy to be felt and seen at this time. Now, I'm probably going to put this drawing towards a set of tarot cards or oracle cards, but I have to get all of the energies right. This is not going to be for a long time yet. It's going to be it's going to be done when it's right and when it's needed. But her energy, you must call upon her. If you need it for your femininity in terms of, and again, if you're masculine, if you're divine masculine and you want to really kind of heal your feminine side, call upon Bridget, because she is, I know that she resonates with In Bulk, which is around the 1st of February, but there's something autumnal about this lady, because she was all very, very quick to come forward in the autumn equinox energy. And I feel like, because my guides are sitting there saying, someone is going to really resonate with this. Now, she identified herself to me with bright red hair, okay, and green. It's like she had green accents on her crown, green accents around her kind of clothing, but they're around her third eye. Now, again, she does tend to sort of appear differently, but I feel like that's the general energy, okay? But her energy is amazing for healing. I mean, I literally just... I did a meditation where I was doing my crown chakra, and I was like, can you just, I don't know, I feel like that's a bit cheeky now that I've said it, but I mean, she was all for it. So, but she is actually gesturing to say, guys, if you do need that energy, she will absolutely give you enough energy and fire for you to last however long you need to. Like, this woman is amazing. I say woman, goddess, I have to give her the respect she deserves, because wowza, what an energy she was. Okay, hang on one sec. Extra message coming through, one sec. Okay, they're also saying something about don't look now. So I feel like if you're constantly checking something about in terms of this connection, you need to draw your attention somewhere else, because it will really lessen that intensity of energy, especially if you feel like the energy is extremely intense, okay? That's going to really help. Okay, so Spirit, any other messages, please? Anything else we can expect to be seeing here for Twin Flame Soulmates over the next few weeks? Any other insights, potential sort of, you know, clarity, information that you can give us here on Twin Flame Soulmates, please? Thank you so much. Any other insights? Or do we need to look at future projections here? I think this is going to be the last one. Okay, so... don't forget we had the Ace of Swords earlier, but we've now got the Judgment card. There are going to be, and again, I feel like we've got the new moon coming up, but I feel like this is going to be around the full moon, which is probably mid-October. Look out for some real striking truths around manifestation. Don't forget to manifest what you want on your new moon as well, okay? But around the full moon, there's the Judgment is here, okay? She is well and truly bathing in that moonlight, okay? And there's flowers sorry about this. This is trying to focus in here. Let's try and get that really focused in so you guys can see it clearly. Doing a really rubbish job of that, Jale. Yeah, she's got the flowers growing underneath her hair, but this is a sign of hope. You've got the stars in the background, okay? Pink for unconditional love with her nightdress. She's in a vulnerable state. She's walking on the snow, okay? So this woman, she knows where it's at. She knows what the situation is. She's very aware of the situation, and there's an enlightened energy around this. So there could be a few epiphanies, a few, you know, insights, interesting insights running up to the full moon and potentially after that, okay? So just pay attention for that. But I feel like it's like this is the cycle of emotional healing. So if you maybe have been putting off shadow work, if you have maybe been putting off heart chakra work, it could even be inner child work. Let's be realistic here, because there's something about that Judgment card that was very vulnerable here. Okay, so maybe have a look at that. But There's a guy on YouTube called Steve Noble. He does guided meditations. Now, if you're fairly versed in meditations, go have a look at his stuff. I feel like his was especially the warrior one, which is especially the light worker one. I mean, there's some really good meditations there, but I would say if you're looking for more, if you potentially you aren't meditating, you know, this, I would say this is a bit more where you're used to getting into that meditative state. But yeah, just a recommendation. You know, I'm not getting paid to say this, but okay, Spirit. So what actually will be the outcome to this? What's the outcome to this energy? What's going to be the end results of this energy running up to the middle of October here? What can we expect to be seeing? What are we going to see from this energy here? What will we be seeing? What I might do after this as well is look into more specifics. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Princess of Wands, right? Now, again, do you remember when I said there could be someone coming to visit you? Again, this kind of reiterates that, but it's a fast, last-minute message. It's like there's last-minute plans here. Again, fire energy could be a little bit, could be a fire sign, but it's like this is something unexpected. I feel like there's something around the note that's in the sort of lent on the wall where she's aware that someone's on their way, but I feel like there may have been little to no warning, so just pay attention for that. So again, if you've got if you're thinking now there's no way that's going to happen around mid-October, it could. I would be keeping an open mind. Let me pull another card to clarify that one. Clarify Four of Pentacles, please, Spirit, for outcomes. Yeah, this is all dependent really on how quickly people are moving out of this almost feeling left out in the cold energy and holding on too tightly to something. If you can transition out of that yourself, so think about things that you may feel a little bit emotionally adverse or a little bit emotionally kind of vulnerable in, maybe things that you've been holding on to. What can you do to almost push forward that energy, because that will counteract the other partner. Okay, so again, you've got another autumnal reference with the Four of Pentacles, but the Five of Pentacles here is someone that's losing hope. So again, it feels more masculine. It's like they're trying to contemplate what they want to do, but they can't quite get a grasp on this. And I feel like we may be seeing a little bit more of the outcome at the end of October for that individual. Again, it feels like two separate messages coming through here. A little bit up and down energy, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to look at, okay, so this is the thing. I'm not going to look at consciously how do they, you know, what do they think of the situation, or, you know, in 5D, subconsciously how they think. The question I'm going to ask, and again, pull your questions in the comments box. If you feel like, you know, you want me to be adding questions in, I'll do it, right? Well, we'll dig right deep into this. The question I'm going to ask is, how do they think, we'll do the divine masculine, how does the divine masculine think he feels towards the divine feminine? Because I've seen firsthand, even when pulling, how does the divine masculine consciously feel towards the divine feminine? Sorry, I'm gonna call that out now. And now you guys are free to believe out however you feel like you need to believe, right? But for me personally, I feel like even if they're consciously aware of it, they can sit there in the Two of Swords energy and not look at it. So what's the outcome then? We need to understand, from what I'm hearing from the guides, how do they think they feel? Because I feel like we're going to get a bit more in depth. So how does the divine masculine think he feels at the present moment towards the divine feminine? How does the divine masculine at the present moment, I'm just going to read the card, think he feels towards the divine feminine? How does the divine masculine, magic wand, sorry, Ace of Wands. I'm hiding behind the card because I'm all embarrassed now. Okay, so first of all, this doesn't have to be divine. I mean, look, theoretically here, this could be same-sex partnerships. That's the energy, first energy I thought of. But there's a renewal, there's some link around the beginning of May. If you have had a little rocky kind of, you know, let's say few months, maybe around May time, this is going to be especially for you, but they are very much in their fire energy at the moment, and they're very aware that there's some kind of compass that's drawing them. Oh my goodness, I'm actually cringing at how much in depth I'm. Put it this way, there is a magnetic vibration that they are resonating with very heavily here, and it's drawing them towards where they need to be. Okay, let's leave it there, right? But they may need, before they do that, to walk away from something. Okay, and again, it's like they do want to come towards you, but I feel like they're, again, Spirit just saying they're doing it by the book. They're doing it by the book. We've got to respect that. Okay, so anything else you can give us in terms of divine masculine? How do they think they feel towards divine feminine? How do they think they First of all, I've got to laugh because I've just heard a divine masculine saying, oh, for goodness sake. So there's a bit of frustration going on here, right? I feel like if you're not seeing results and you're sat there going, oh, for goodness sake, they probably are too, because it's like, I feel like everything's coming on top of them at once, and it's like they're having to sift through what is what, understand and connect the heart center to the head center, align, recalibrate, purge, and then make action. So let's just say if they don't like multitasking, and I don't want to be stereotypical here, but if they're not a fan of multitasking, this may be a little bit tricky for them. Any other messages from divine masculine towards divine feminine in terms of how do they think? Yeah, again, they need to go through this transition. Again, it's just confirming the last message. They're very aware that something needs to be phased out here, and it is all but coming. Okay, so death is very much sort of very scorpionic, very kind of phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes, where again you've got a bonfire here, but you've also got pumpkins in the background. So okay, so look out for something around Halloween. Could be a very large significant change around the Halloween period. But this is the energy they don't want. They don't want to be in that. They're trying to own their authenticity. They're trying to take away the mask, you know. So any last insights? How does the divine masculine think he feels towards the divine feminine, please? Any other insights? My cards have just gone absolutely everywhere. Just a bit of insight for you there. How does the divine masculine think he feels, or she feels, towards divine feminine? They could well be trying to set up a foundation here. They could also be trying to focus their energy and intentions into something to manifest that's solid, practical. Don't forget, you've also got the horse in the background there, the darker horse. This, I feel, again, is potentially linked to shadow side, shadow work that they may need to be doing. So I feel like if that resonates with you, maybe look at your own shadow work to mirror and help counterpart along. Okay, and last card. Again, don't underestimate the connection, guys, because you've got bells and whistles, you've got a huge family reunion, wish, 9 of cups, ultimate kind of satisfaction, ultimate kind of bliss, happiness, family unit, bells, all the bells and whistles. Like, you've literally got bells in the background there. Apologies for the lack of focus of this card. We will get there eventually. Goodness me, this is taking like, here we go. Again, family scenario. Now, the ladybird is a few different scenarios, but I feel like they're trying to hold back a little bit with their passions. It's like they're very aware of the passions. The red for security, the root chakra, that kind of very, you know, secure foundation that they're trying to build. But that's the ultimate wish card. So this is very positive. Keep the faith. Got to be keeping the faith at this time. So let's look. How does the divine feminine, and we can test this now with these cards, because if you're sat there going, well, that's not how I feel, then you'll go, there we go. Right, so how does the divine feminine think she feels towards divine masculine? How does the divine feminine think she feels? Oh, I just hit a really good card. I'm getting goosebumps. How does the divine feminine think she feels? And again, cross watchers, or you know, even divine masculine is watching this, you could have tested the first set of cards out that I did, and then you'll check now with this pile to see if that's going to resonate, if that makes any sense. So take it how it comes and how it resonates. How does the divine feminine think she feels towards the divine masculine? How does the divine feminine think she feels. Oh, this is lovely. Very Page of Cups. Okay, so there's very romantic energy here. It's a very kind of childlike, very pure essence of energy that again references to spring. Okay, so it could be that you're wanting to plan something for spring. It may be that you're in connection, communication, that you are forging ahead. I think there's a Taurus. Is that Taurus? Looks like Taurus is on her skirt, so could be a link with a Taurus here. You've also got two doves of peace, so it's like there's a calmer period. I feel like you're maybe settling into a bit of a calmer emotional time here, ready to build up that, you know, that emotions there into sort of something solid. And again, reunion. Someone from the past returning. Someone wants to make amends. Again, reference potentially to a third party scenario here where we're seeing a lady overseeing a couple. But there's a lot of emotion, okay? There's a lot of reminiscing. There's a lot of nostalgic vibrations here. Again, apologies for this lack of focus. It's awful, really. But, yeah, lovely card. Really, again, reunion energy. It's like wanting to go home, return back to the self. It's very kind of, very pure energy. They're trying to give me something else. Could also be a link to a childhood connection, okay? And I don't know why, but I've just got a letterbox. So I don't know if that's a clue for someone here that has something about a letterbox. So it could be that you're receiving a letter. It could be an actual literal letterbox where maybe you're waiting for something. But they keep showing me a letterbox. Let's see if I can get more information about this. But that's coming through very strongly. And also a red pillar box. Now I don't know if you're going to resonate with this, everyone, but in the UK we used to have, maybe sometimes we do roughly in certain areas, but a red pillar box where we used to post our letters. I really hope this is not a sexual reference. I really hope this is not a sexual I'm actually cringing because I'm like, please tell me this is not another. Okay, apologies for anyone easily offended or anyone who's offended by that, but I kind of feel like it is. Oh my god, I shouldn't cringe because it's kind of like, you know, it's a divine connection, but guys, can we my goodness, there's some, oh, here we go, look, confirmation coming through. Look, someone's trying to hold back on this. No wonder I'm picking up on that energy. Goodness me. Wowza. And the strength card, like, talk about that kind of really withholding that passion, trying to really control that passion, that potentially even ego. Again, he's got that red oh my goodness, please goodness. He's got a red bandana around his head. He literally means business. I can't believe this has gone so in the gutter, isn't it? I know it's a divine connection, but still, man, I apologise if that's offending anyone. I will try and check the information before I give it. Okay, so we've got some good cards coming up. Okay, so Divine Feminine. How do you think you feel about the Divine Masculine? Is if you have a third party, you're going to be releasing that, or you're going to see them release. They're not going to hold on to a grip as tightly, and there is going to be a reunion because there is the ultimate union and success at the end, the World card. So it's like I feel like the Divine Feminines are a little bit more aware of who are watching this, of really the longevity of this. I feel like, I don't want to sit and assume this, but it does feel like the masculines are trying to purge a little bit more still, and they're catching up. But there's something very integral between now and the next couple of months, okay? So don't be hard on yourself if you've done so much work and it isn't coming through, because it has to be in the right time, okay? And there is a solid offer coming. There is a solid offer coming. Okay, so I feel like we need to do a few more things. So what is being hidden? Should we ask that one? What is currently being hidden in this connection? Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. What is currently being hidden in this connection between Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine? What is currently being hidden in this connection? Interesting. If you or the counterpart is in a connection, what they're currently hiding is they are making plans to leave, okay? Because they are really taking a look at their future here, and they are taking it very seriously. That's their end goal, okay? And if you add 8 and 3, it's 11, all right? So we've got an 11 card there, which is obviously twin flames. This here is the new moon. There is going to be some very significant, I want to, again, revelations on new moon, revelations in full moon. So again, 28th of this month, around mid of next month, that I feel. And don't forget as well, there's something significant around the end of October for Halloween. What else is being hidden here? Divine feminine, divine masculine, twin flame, soulmate connections, please. What else is being hidden? I can't believe I gave that post box name. I'm cringing. What else is being hidden? They're all laughing. They think it's hilarious. Of course they would. I'm embarrassed. Apologies if that offended anyone. I didn't mean to offend. Right. This is a juicy one now, right? Okay. If you are used to being in a combative, competitive energy, or where you're sort of one-upping, it's like, oh, he's posted on Facebook this, I'm going to do this, and don't. We need to stop this, because look, we've got some kind of competitive battle going on here. Battle of the egos, power struggle, battle of the wills. Because this is the thing, Magician on the bottom of the deck, so that, you know, again, could be potentially a little bit, don't want to say manipulative, but we could be manifesting something here that's positive or potentially negative, but if we keep in this energy. But it's like, you can see they're so focused on the hands and winning that they're missing that there's 5 wands coming at them, right? They're missing that insight. They can't see past what they're currently doing, okay? That is the most direct way I can explain this card, because what you don't want to be doing is so heavily focused on this very three-dimensional, and don't get me wrong, I know it's easier said than done, very three-dimensional energy, which is, oh, well, you know, they're going traveling, or, you know, she's done this and he's done that. Great. Well, what about upstairs? Because don't forget the Magician, and apologies if it looks like I'm burping, that's how I cleanse the energy. Like, if I'm picking up a lot of heavy energy, especially that 5 of Wands, I absorb it. I'm an empath healer, you know, I'm a psychic, I'm a clairvoyant, so I'm a clairsentient, so I absorb it, and it has to go somewhere. I don't want to sit and burp, so if I'm doing some weird face, I apologise. Magician, this is going to manifest from the 5D to the 3D, okay? So if you're seeing all this battle around the 3-dimension, and it's like, well, this energy is really kind of, you know, I want to push past this, it's coming, but you have to do the work. Don't forget, purple for crown chakra. We're really going to align into the, you know, the next new moon and full moon, where we can release what needs to be released in order to get to the next stage, okay? So, you know, any other insights, messages in terms of, again, could be a blocking communication here as well. Again, it's until they're ready, they're not going to take that leap of faith, but they have to be ready. And we, you know, the counterparts both have to be ready in this scenario, okay? There is absolutely no point starting a journey with no food, no water, no money, no plans, no nothing. There's no point, because, I mean, look, again, I feel like he's just kind of going to roll off this, you know, this side of this cliff, and we don't want that. That's Taurus. So I'm just trying to work out that they're asking me to read something on this card. Gemini. Sorry, I'm just trying to work something out here. So hang on a minute. They're giving me a specific sign, but I'm trying to... Look, as you can see on this card, there's 4 signs around this this wheel. Now the top is Taurus, okay, but the other three are really not something that I've seen before. So I'm trying to work out. So that's Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sag. So Sagittarius will be December. Interesting. I don't know why, but there's something around September. Now, it doesn't have to be that he's going to take that leap of faith in December, but it's like I'm being drawn to that symbol. Now, again, if I'm wrong and it isn't 6 away from Taurus, then use the 6 sign away from Taurus as the kind of the sign as to when I feel like action will be taken. Because again, it's solid footing, and again, High Priestess is covering a secret. So I feel like, and they keep referencing Christmas, it's like someone's making plans to kind of dip out maybe before Christmas, so that it doesn't get to the point where they're sat around family or people that they don't want to be sat around, and it's like really awkward. But someone is there's some secret plans here around that time to make a break for it. So if you're not seeing any solid movements around middle of October, end of October, it could be that we need a bit more time, maybe December. I feel like there's good, because this is the thing, right? We've got, when we had the new super black moon, I think it was at the beginning of August, there was a lot of, Lilith was pretty much conjunct Neptune in Pisces, right? And Lilith being the kind of distorted feminine, the darker feminine, it's like that new black moon was almost bringing out that illusionary element where, you know, the typical matriarch was being potentially played into there, and it was like a bit of a false start again with that. When we got the actual harvest moon at the end of that month, what we would have had to sort of, you know, deliver or give out from that harvest would have been potentially illusionary based on the Neptunian influence for Lilith. I don't know if you're following astrology. If you don't follow astrology, I apologise. I'm trying to make it as similar as possible. But at the end of December of 2019, Lilith is going from Pisces into Aries, which means a whole new cycle of Lilith. Now, that is huge for the feminines. This is not just about a woman, this is about the feminine side of the man, the masculine, that is going to be purged. This is a real deep purging here. So because they're giving me this December reference, I feel like I need to mention it. But you've got double whammy coming up, right? Because this is in reference to the potential illusionary energies around the August time, where maybe you felt like this is all coming together, and false start, because it's like they're testing that, they're testing the resolution. It's like they're really trying to get right in and purge everything. But also Lilith is going to be conjunct Chiron in Aries, big sort of around January time, which is going to bring all this all up again. So anything that hasn't been purged around August, again, Lionsgate around the 8th of the 8th, again the August sorry, beg your pardon, the Lion's Gate, then the September, the 9/9, are now sort of drawing up until October. If this isn't being purged, it's like I feel like we need to be waiting for December, okay? And again, don't forget, there's going to be another purge around January where there's that very close, there's that conjunction with Lilith to Chiron, which Chiron is the wounded healer. Again, Lilith is the potential distorted feminine. This is the matriarchal role that potentially society is purging. So we're going to be seeing a lot of changes around the feminine here, and this is going to be very much in the public eye, I feel. So if it is affecting the counterpart, remember that this is, again, not something to punish you. This has to happen, because who would want a connection or to build in, you know, that kind of union only to have another issue? Because I feel like everyone just wants to be real now at the moment with this. Now, that's not to say that if you come into union before that and then suddenly you get to January and then bang, I'm not saying that. It could be that you guys have done the work and that it's a very smooth transition. I'm just giving you a heads up because they've given me the December reference. Don't forget, I'm only reading for the next 2 weeks. So this could also come up in the next couple of weeks where you're sat there thinking, where's my Lilith in my chart, because something's triggering some distorted feminine, especially around Egypt. If you guys have had Egyptian past lives, do some shadow work, because wowza, the layers I was shedding doing that recently was blowing my mind, especially if we're in this Piscean energy where I feel like we're really connecting, but sometimes we're a bit like, is this a smoke screen? Is this real? So pay attention for that. And again, if the Lilith thing is a bit like, I'm not really into that, that's fine. Just, you know, disregard it and take what does resonate or does feel comfortable for you. But it's just a bit of added information, context, in order to build into a bigger picture so that we can really see 360-degree angle. So we are ready as people to manifest the outcome we want, and we've worked probably very hard to get to. You know, people have probably been here doing this kind of work for a long time and have worked blooming hard and want to see outcomes, and good, you know, good. I'm glad that you're in that energy and you're ready to move forward with this, because there's work to be done, you know. Okay, so any final messages, Spirit, here? Any final messages for the reading? Any other insight? Any last insights? I feel like they might want to pull... Yeah, I feel like I need to go to an oracle card, actually. I'm going to go... No, should I go there? I feel like I need to pull this card. I'm bringing out the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards here. I might pull one for the feminine, and then I'll pull an energy oracle card as well. Okay, so what can you tell us here? What energies can you, or insights can you show us here for Divine Feminine, Twin Flame, Soulmate? What energies, insights? Wow, okay, so again, Mary Magdalene, unconditional love is going to be extraordinarily important here. Okay, so again, if you're really struggling with that, connect with yourself, really kind of start looking at how you top your own cup out, because, and then just sending that, holding that space for Divine Masculine and sending that out. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Again, three-dimensional illusionary energy here. Stay focused. Look at this amazing woman's energy and look at her face. The expression says it all. She knows. She knows. If I can actually get this to focus. Sorry guys, I'm so sorry about this. Look at this, look at this energy. She knows. She knows. This isn't smugness. This is, I've done my work, and I'm holding that cup, that candle, that spark, that light. What an amazing, I love that card. I actually love that card. Okay, let's pull one more. Energy for Twin Flame Soulmates, please, Spirit. Energy for Twin Flame Soulmates. Any other messages for Twin Flame Soulmates, please? Any other messages? Twin Flame Soulmates. Again, what did I just say about holding that space? We've got Nimitona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Okay, so again, if you're maybe struggling to connect with that heart center and you really feel like you need a bit of a sanctuary, maybe build a bit of an altar, maybe create some space in your home that is for you, maybe outside, wherever you feel comfortable that you won't be disturbed. Sit in that energy and maybe call upon Nimitona as well, because she's actually holding, there's so many candles in this picture. Again, there's a contemplationary energy here. Now that looks like it could be a pyramid in the background, or is it a cross? No, I feel like it's a pyramid. And someone's just said all be revealed. So again, make sure you're holding sacred space for yourself, but also counterparts. Spirit are just saying as well, don't give up. If you've been sat there going, I can't do it. Right, we need to be thankful in this autumn equinox energy, because this is setting the scene moving forward here. We've got to be really on it. Okay, so let's pull two more cards, because obviously we don't want to leave people that don't identify with the goddesses out. Twin Flame Soulmate energy, please, Spirit. Twin Flame Soulmate energy. Twin Flame Soulmate energy. Any messages, please? Twin Flame Soulmate energy. Any insights, any messages, please? Twin Flame Soulmate energy. Any messages, any insight? And we've got the Magician in the Mirror. Now, ironically, as I mentioned before about Bridget, we've now got the Magician, who's also holding the fire and the water. And he's also adding up 5 and 3 to 8, which is infinite. Okay, infinite possibility. We've got the manifestation here and the abundance to manifest here what it is we need to. Okay, I feel with this energy, it's saying you're looking outside potentially, you know, of yourself in order to manifest something you can do. You've got all this within you. The Magician is in the mirror. Okay, so it's like there's a reflective energy here. So what you feel, your counterpart will feel. If we're holding space, we're giving that unconditional love, the counterpart will actually resonate with that, and it will help them along in this time. Okay, so just bear that one in mind. And could also be a bit of scrying work, maybe. Might be useful to do a bit of scrying in the mirror. Again, Libra season here, we've got the Angel of Balance, another reference to the pyramids and the new moon in the background. Okay, so Angel of Balance, she's got that, it looks like what is that? Is it a timer? It looks like a candle or some sort. It looks like a timer. I feel like we're in divine timing here. Blue for obviously throat chakra, Archangel Michael, protective elements going on. We need to get everything into balance via communication. Again, balance through throat, head and heart. We need to get the head and heart into balance to align. We've got the 2 pyramids in the background there, which is obviously the counterpart energy. And then the 8 and the 4, which obviously adds up to 3. Okay, so that's growth, creation, the Holy Trinity, and it's communication as well, reaffirming that communicational elements. Okay, so again, very childlike energy here. And the guys have just said pull one more, so we'll pull one last oracle card now, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, and again, don't forget what I said about the Magician and manifesting and holding the space, sacred space, unconditional love, because that will create the door to value. You've got money coming through. You've got there's a very kind of a light energy coming through that door. Okay, so again, you've got a few flowers that are blossoming and blooming here. Okay, so this adds up, 3 and 1 is 4, so that's archangels, inner strength, work and productivity, traditional sort of values, dreams, and knowledge and wisdom. So it's like if we follow this path, if we surrender to the divine, we align with our, you know, head and our heart, we create that balance in ourselves, there is a doorway here. Okay, there is a doorway that is going to, do you know, I'm so sorry about this. This camera is, this is annoying. Yeah, look, you can see that a bit better there. So it's very kind of golden energy, very much of that sort of divine energy here in the background. Very Garden of Eden. And there's a lucky gold pentacle as well, it looks like, on the door. Okay, so again, Ace of Pentacles, solid offer, commitment. All right, so guys, I hope that's helped. I might try and do one in the next 2 weeks or so. If not, it'll be maybe a month's time, because we've got quite a lot of information in there. What I'll be doing is I'll be posting videos Monday to Friday. If you did feel like this was useful, please do like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I do post videos Monday to Friday. I will be starting October's videos for the sun, moon, rising signs at the end of the week. But if you do have suggestions for videos, things that you want me to cover, post them in the comments. If you want a personalised reading, do email me, the information in the description box. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. It's massively appreciated. And yeah, take care. Have a lovely day. Bye.